I love how Endgame has been focusing on creating low latency mice where you can actually feel the difference. For me, it all started with that OP1AK, buttery smooth mice movement, but it was wired. Now they've been putting all their efforts into making a mouse we've all been waiting a long time for, the Endgame xm2w 4K. Delay after delay, but it is finally here. So let's take a look and see where it falls in today's current mouse landscape. Now the packaging is really interesting. It comes in a case with a little cardboard around it. It feels like less waste overall, and you get a nice carrying case with everything in it. The coating is nice and matte, and it feels very nice in the hand, non-irritating, smooth, and enjoyable to use. It comes in a few different colors like the dark frost, the white frost, white, black. I have the solid white version here, and I really want a frosted purple. I know they can do it because I've seen it. There could be some variation with the frost though, compared to the solid colors. I don't have it on hand to really speak to that, so just keep that in mind. All right, so the weight is coming in at 63 grams, and for some people that might be disappointed with what we've seen from like Lamzu and Ninjutsu, getting their mice down to 40 and 50 grams with their similarly shaped mice. Coming from those mice, you can feel a difference in weight though, especially with that low weight Sora V2, but they've done a nice job here in balancing the weight, so it does feel quite nice in the hand. It comes with 2 sets of mouse feet, one smaller set and one bigger one if you want a smoother experience. I typically just stick with the smaller 2 feet because I get a faster glide. There's also a slider for the power button and a DPI button on the bottom as well. As for the shape, it's that classic Diamondback XM mouse signature shape that's super comfortable for claw grip. That Diamondback shape naturally contours to the way our hand naturally grasps a mouse, so you get that little triangle there. Since this series came out, there's been multiple companies coming out with their version of it. We've got mice like the Lamzu Atlantis, which is a more rounded version. We have the Maya, which is a less aggressive, slender version of it. And then we have something like the Sora, which presses higher up in your palm. The most comfortable diamond shape to me is still the Sora, and then it would be the XM right behind it. What Endgame has done is they've made their mice low, wide, with a more aggressive Diamondback shape compared to all the other ones. If you don't like wide mice, I'd skip this and go with the Sora V2 or the Maya 8K. The scroll wheel is also very high up on the mouse, whereas the other ones are more towards the middle of the mouse 1 and 2. So that's also something you want to take into consideration if that bugs you or if you have shorter hands, because even with my medium hands, it feels like I am overreaching trying to get to that scroll wheel coming from like a Viper V3 Pro that is in the middle. If you're below, let's say 18 centimeters long, I would probably start to look elsewhere, especially if you use that scroll wheel a lot. The switches are the KL GX switches. I could tell these are light and crispy, but there's no cushion bottom out. Once you hit the bottom of the switch, that's it. That's as far as you go. It's very flat. It's something that you really have to get used to, but it's far from my favorite feeling overall for a Switch. Now the side buttons are curved, which allow you to lift up the mouse. They also have nice tactility as well as minimal pre-travel and not a lot of post-travel. The scroll wheel is what we've come to expect from them. Very high up on the mouse, like I said, tactile but smooth overall. Not much has changed there from what I can feel and see. But let's drop a sound test so you guys can hear what the xm2w 4K sounds like. And as always, let me know your comments and feedback down below in the comments. Now the xm2w is featuring the 3395 sensor, which can go up to 4000 Hz polling rate. The software looks like something out of the 90s, no frills, just gives you what you need, no cool animations or colors, just a window. You can adjust the liftoff distance, the DPI, add motion sync, pairing the dongle, it shows your battery life and a few other things. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. And you know, it's a light software, so I can't really be too mad at it. Now I don't know what they got going on over there at Endgame, but they've been doing their mice right. It just feels better than everybody else's in terms of latency and quickness and smoothness. For me, honestly, I just go with the real world testing most of the time, and man, like I can tell a difference, you know? Sometimes, you know, you could see a number on the screen or, you know, calculations, you'd be like, oh, it's faster, but in actuality, does that translate in games? And I can feel like this one does translate over to your games. The only thing that's really going to stop me and maybe some of you from using it is the way the buttons are implemented. That flat, hard stopping mouse 1 and 2, it's just not comfortable for me. But it's funny how the OP1AK has the cushion bottom out, but this doesn't. You know, it just feels like this was made by a different company. Also, the shape is wide and does take some getting used to for claw grip, but it is super comfortable overall. I would say this shape actually really helps if you struggle with mouse tension because you won't need to strain as much by holding your hand in a death grip. It's like holding a softball versus a regular baseball. It almost keeps your hand in a nice relaxed position. The pricing is set kind of in the middle. You know, we've got budget now is like $100 with inflation. We've got the higher end mice at 150, 160. This falls right in the middle of those. And I can say that for what you're getting here, I think that this is worth it because overall this is a great mouse. I would say if you're happy with the Sora or the Maya, then maybe just stick with those unless you just gotta have the lowest latency possible. So I'm glad we have an updated xm2w 4K in 2024 going into 2025. This is such a unique and fun shape to use, especially if you're a flick god. All right, so those are my thoughts on the Endgame xm2w 4K. Let me know if you guys have any more questions down below and I'll be sure to answer. Until then, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.